Welcome to my space. I'm Sherry Pliskota, otherwise known as Peaches, and thanks to Asimov and Donna, the Dark Angel, for helping me co-hosting today. And I see Michael is in the audience, so welcome to you, Michael, as well. I'm going to go ahead and get a few things out of the way as we wait for Jeremy Smith to join us this afternoon. First, hey, you guys, how are you?
Good. How you doing, Sherry? Good morning.
Hey, I'm doing well, thank you. Glad that you could make it this afternoon or, well, morning for you. Hey, Donna.
Hey Sherry, hey Isaac, Michael. Hope you're all doing okay.
Doing well, thank you. And I know it's in the evening where you're at. So we're all over the place, all over the world. And guess what? We're getting it done here in the spaces today. Many thanks to my sponsor, Elevator Results. If you need a tailor made workout plan to help you lose weight or gain weight, Elevator Results can design that plan. Follow them on Twitter and check out their site at elevatorresultspt.com. Also, be reminded you can find the recordings of my past spaces, including our daily WSOP coverage and all of our interviews on my YouTube channel at Sherry Pliskota 9212. Don't forget on Friday at 7:30 Eastern Time, Andrew Lichtenberg, aka Lucky Chewy, is going to join me and be my guest. We will chat all things GG Poker, all things Octopi Poker, and get some of our poker integrity questions answered. That's Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time here in the Spaces. I got a text the other day from our friend John Sanudo. He had surgery in LA on the 17th of August, and he is now home and getting stronger every day. So send him some prayers, you guys. Congratulations to a spacer. She doesn't join us very often anymore, but congratulations to Angela Jordanson for topping a field of 861 players to win the MSPT East Chicago Ameristar $1,110 main event yesterday, taking home a whopping $161,000. How exciting is that, you guys?
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's
That's a
so cool.
great payout for a great entry right there.
That is so cool. I'm so excited. Now, Isaac, I saw you had an issue getting into this space. Did you click on the link I sent in the DM, or did you just find it like in the ticker tape at the top of your screen?
I rarely enter spaces through the ticker. Actually, I get the alert because I set it, so it sets a reminder when the space starts,
Okay,
and that comes across as a notification. So I
right.
tapped on that, and that was giving me some issues to actually accept co-host. So I got out, closed Twitter, reopened it, and then I used the link that you DM me, and then I had no issue.
Yeah, if for some reason, some of those things just work really Yankee don't work right all the time. So I'm always trying to figure out which way works the best. And on any given day, that could be changing. It's kind of crazy.
I totally agree. These days, it's been kind of glitchy. I'm not sure what exactly the reasoning is behind that, but I've noticed the glitching has definitely gotten worse and worse.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's a little bit annoying too because you just never know what to expect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hopefully they can work through it though. I mean, they've been pretty good about patching a lot of the glitches, bots and things like that. So I don't see why they couldn't get past this one, but we'll see. I think in a lot of ways it probably has to do with the individual devices sometimes, right?
I
And
do believe that. Yes, of
internet
course.
connection, all of those things. But hey, hopefully, he puts up Starlink everywhere soon and we don't ever have to worry about internet again.
I know that's right. If there's anybody that's going to figure this out, I think it's going to be him. I think Elon is the one to do it because he likes it to be right. He's perfectionist.
Yes, he is a well-known perfectionist too. And I mean, yeah, like you said, he gets it done. So I have faith. I have
I
faith.
do too. I do too. I sent an email to Jeremy to remind him. I've not heard back. So, he could have forgotten about us today. He's just coming off the tour being in East Chicago, and he's getting ready to I don't know, he may already be headed there to go to Vegas because the next MSPT host is at the Venetian. So, you know, the man's on a tight schedule, as they say. So hopefully he'll be joining us here in a few minutes. Until then, we'll just chat.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and
So
I saw that MSPT does have something at Venetian. I still haven't played in their new poker room. I didn't get to visit it this summer. Hopefully, I can
I
come
did.
check them out.
Yeah, I didn't either. I'm looking forward to that as well. Well, tell us what's going on in the Green Advisor group these days. What you got going
I
on? What's
mean,
coming up?
well, right now we're in the middle of our season. We just completed our first month, which is exciting. We just had our end of the month holders tournament, which was a great fight. It was a $1,600 prize pool. That's pretty much what the fourth week of each month gets during the season. So yeah, it's been great. We had our duck race bonanza, which was like four duck races back to back to back to back, which was hilarious. Those things are great.
I
I gotta
love
tell
that.
you, all the ducks dressed up in something different. Pretty fun. Pretty fun.
I love duck races.
Yeah, it's super cool. But yeah, as we're doing this, we're working on our second season already, and what we're going to be offering. We got some really cool things cooking. I think our holders are going to be super excited for what's coming next season.
Very
Um,
cool. For
and yeah,
those that don't know, give us a little synopsis about how your group operates. Like, what are you guys doing?
well, the most basic version I can give is this season we did 450 passes at just under $50 a piece, depending on what Ethereum was at the moment. Um, that gives access to a $17,000 prize pool that is a mix between both poker and games of chance, which are like the duck races, or we're looking at what other games we may play, but everybody loves the duck races, so we've kind of stuck to those. So it's a combination of either two games a week and one duck race a week, and we run that for 3 of the 4 weeks of a month, and then on the fourth week we have a duck race bonanza where we do another four of them all together, and then we have an end of the month holders tournament, and we have another tournament for anybody who holds our OG pass, which it's the same pass, but it was from when the offering was for us to do the 10K WSOP main event seat. So those people, we give them a little more love because it's like a Kickstarter. They were there from the very, very beginning.
Right.
We run a season that started this last month in August and is going to run up until December. And then once we're completed with that, our season two should hopefully be starting somewhere. Our goal is to start January 1st. So we're probably going to be minting starting in October, just to give ourselves a cool window. Because, like I said, we got some things cooking up. Depends on how it all goes, but there's definitely going to be either some WPT or some WSOP action included in the membership pass. But that's us. I mean, we're an online poker club. We're on Club GG. We may have our own platform soon. One of our sponsors is called Gambler Casino, and they're pretty much in talks with us right now to possibly build us a poker platform on their casino. So we'll see what happens. But for right now, we're on Club GG, hanging out, just being DJs, having a good time.
Good stuff happening in the Green Visor gang. They're really hard workers and they love the game of poker and trying to do some innovative things. And I love it. Love every minute of it. And
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you. And I know that Blue, I haven't had a chance to speak to her, but I know she got to play in the first game the other day. So how did that go? Do you know?
Yeah, actually, she's in there. She got verified and everything. She's already joined a couple of games. What's really cool is that her being a holder, she gets access to the prize pool that comes with that, and then she also gets access to our partner games that happen during the week. And those are awesome because you can win some NFTs, learn about some new things going on out here in Web3. But we like to have it be that every time you play, you get some kind of a reward. And I would definitely love to get her input once we probably run another month or so in the ecosystem, and she's really gotten an opportunity to vibe out with it. but it looks like she's having fun. Pretty dope to see that
Awesome.
she's a streamer. I didn't know she was a streamer, so I just started following her on Twitch the other day.
Yeah,
Really cool.
she hasn't been doing it very long, but she seems to enjoy it. And of course, she has the gift of gab, so that makes it fun. And I just want to remind everybody that she's playing in the Green Visor Gang um, because you guys were gracious enough to be my sponsor for our second interview with Scotty Wynn last week. And you guys gave that away to one of my listeners after we got all the Green Visor Gang out of the way because they were all winning it, but they were gracious enough to turn it down because they already had membership, so to speak. And so Blue, one of my listeners and one of our space lovelies, got to win that membership. So that was pretty cool. And she was very excited. So I know she's going to have fun with that because she just makes things fun.
Yeah, definitely. I jumped into a space she was running the other day where she was doing like poker study, which
Yeah,
I find to be awesome. That's cool when people get together and do that. So yeah, definitely cool. Definitely glad to have her. And like we said, that's why we reran it a few times because we just wanted to make sure that we get people who want to play poker in and kind of like grow the community out. So that was dope. That was super dope.
absolutely. And she, last Wednesday was the second Wednesday. Tomorrow will be the third Wednesday that she will host our little study group here in the spaces. And she just puts up like hands that we all um, assess and give our opinion of what you would do next. Would you, fold, bet, call, raise, whatever? And then once everybody gives their opinion of what they would do in the situation, she runs it in the simulator and we go by street to, figure out if we're right or wrong or what we need to do differently and learn from it or whatever. So it's been a lot of fun. I had to duck out last week a little early because I had some other things to do, but definitely looking forward to Blues Wednesday night spaces. So definitely was fun. Now, Donna, I know you went out into the poker world this weekend. Why don't you tell us what you did?
Yeah, I decided to just go for a drive like you do, well, like I do. And I decided to drive to Leeds first to meet up with Ian Simpson, who's now a part of 888. Me and Ian go way, way back, many, many years. He first started on Sky Poker, and when Sky Poker had their TV channel, he used to go on there and talk hands and things like that. Over the years, I've become very, very good friends with him and his wife, and I've not seen him for a while, so I just thought I'd go down and see him.
Were they
Um,
hosting a tournament or something that day? That was
yes,
Saturday. What were they
hosting.
hosting?
There was hosting an 888 tournament. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but they do the high roller main event and side events. It's not just one event. It's like a mini festival. They had one in
Nice.
Manchester the week before, which I didn't go to. I obviously I saw Tower, which is Phil Heald, who was an absolute legend in the commentary poker world over here, and his sidekick Jay
Awesome.
Harwood, and spoke to them while they was live onto it on YouTube streaming as per usual. I don't usually get to see them because they're usually in a back office or somewhere in a little back space. You know what it's like when
Right.
but they're out in the open there. And then I went to Manchester to see my poker boss, which is Doug 235. Um, just to catch up and see what happened in Vegas, see what Sky Poker Tour was up to. Didn't really stay long, but yeah, it was good fun. I was going to go to Blackpool afterwards to see my daughter's dad, but Caitlin had migraine, so we decided to turn around and go home. But yeah, it was a fun weekend. I enjoyed it. It was good fun seeing everybody in that and meeting up.
That's awesome. Give me a second. Jeremy is trying to email me. Give me 1 minute. You guys talk amongst yourself for a second, please.
Not a problem. Isaac,
Not a problem at all, right?
of course it's not. We can sort the hind leg off a donkey.
Yes, indeed.
So, so what's next for you today then, Isaac?
Nothing. Let's see. Today is Tuesday. Today is a holders game. So later on, just hosting a holders game. Trying to go as far as I can. Besides that, I sign up for games pretty much throughout the day and just try to keep practicing, and practicing. Trying some new things out. Like anything else, adjusting, always adjusting. How about you?
Of
What are you going to
course.
get into later on today?
Oh, well, it's actually a same time for me. It's 7:20 in the evening, not silly o'clock in the morning for me. So like I'm just chilling. Been a beautiful day today. Really has been beautiful. I think we're having an Indian summer, which is unusual for England.
Oh, well, that's nice. I'm glad you're enjoying the weather. The weather's not too bad over here, except this week is going to be a heat wave, which is hilarious that we're in September and still going through that. But that's kind of how California is.
Yeah, we're coming to my favourite time of year, autumn, where
Ah,
I just love the tree colours.
yes, yes. We call it sweater weather here at the house because everybody loves to wear sweaters. So it's definitely a great time of year. Plus, like some of my favorite places are, you know, very temperate. Like going to Vegas is awesome this time of year because the weather is just so favorable. Plus, there's other places I'd like to go a little further east and see how their weather is, but we'll see if we make it out there.
So what's your plans for your next big outing then? When's your next live tournament? Where you going to be going for that?
Well, right now the only thing that's really on my mind is December and the WPT championships. I'm definitely trying to go to that. I contemplated whether I wanted to try to get myself to go to WSOP Paradise because I heard that it is officially happening. Um, but I don't know. I'm such a Vegas head to begin with, and it's so easy for me to get there that more than likely the WPT will win out. Plus, I love playing at the Win, and I'm still working on a win at the Win. So I've been pretty stubborn about going to everything major that happens there because I'm trying to at least, well, my first goal is usually final table, and then after that, it's just placing further. But um, definitely trying to get to a final table at one of these events. I've gone pretty deep in a couple of these and made some decent runs, but nothing that satisfies me yet. So yeah, just that's why I say constantly improving on trying to adjust my game because there's certain things that I notice when I play, and when I've gotten farther enough, and what got me there versus what got me out, type of thing. So yeah, but yeah, always looking to improve.
That sounds amazing. Well, December in Vegas is my favourite time of year anyway. Ah, we have Jeremy here.
Thank you guys. I've been trying to DM it. Okay, Jeremy. If you click on the request button in the bottom left corner at this point, this is the fastest way for us to get you a microphone. Just hit the request button or toggle in the bottom left corner of your screen, and we'll get you up here as a speaker. And I
I
just
just
sent,
invited him too.
yeah, I invited him too, but sometimes that just makes it more confusing. So if you click on the request button in the bottom left corner, we will get you up here as a speaker. Or if you saw one of those invites flash up, you could click on it. And don't panic because this happens all the time. We're used to it here in the spaces, so don't panic if you can't get up here. But I will tell you that if it's not working, just go out of the space, go on to my Twitter account, and come into the space through that. or at the very top of your screen, when you go out of the space, you'll see a ticker tape and you'll see the space up there. You can click on that link up there as well. It's just a glitch of Twitter, so don't panic. We just have to kind of make our way through it.
Indeed.
And it gets frustrating, especially if you're not familiar with it. It's just annoying.
Yeah, it can be. Certain aspects of the tech aren't as fluid as we'd like. But hey, you know what? I'd prefer to have it here on Twitter or X or whatever it's calling itself these days than being on Clubhouse. Clubhouse is kind of like what preceded this, and man,
Right.
that place was a madhouse. I used to get so annoyed going into those chat rooms. My God,
Well,
people.
I've never participated in that, so I can't comment on that. But Jeremy, if you can hear me, if you leave the space and come back in, it'll help you with your technology. And then click on the bottom left screen to request, and that request is for a microphone. We'll give you a microphone from that request. Go ahead, Donna.
Yeah, also it's easier if you're on your phone than on a computer. So
Yeah.
if you're on a computer, then switch to your phone. That'll be the easiest way
Oh,
to
there
come
he
in.
is. There he is. Are you there, Jeremy? You can.
Hello.
Hey, we got you.
Sorry about that. My microphone was actually under my settings. It was muted under the settings, so I had to go in the settings and unmute it through Twitter. So
No worries, and welcome, Jeremy. I'm so glad we got you on here, and I'm sorry there was a most misunderstanding, but we got it figured out,
I
and that's all
appreciate
that matters.
it.
Well, I'm going to give you a little intro. Welcome to my space. I'm happy we're popping your cherry of spaces. Our guest grew up in Crown Point, Indiana, and a little surprise for him that the point was a little bit of my old stomping grounds, spending my teenage and early marriage years in Lansing, Illinois.
Okay, that's not too far.
No, it isn't. And my mother-in-law and father-in-law used to live in Crown Point. Uh, Jeremy does have a Hendon Mob record. He has a total live earnings of $23K with a best live cash of $7,000 for his 15th place finish in the Wynn Summer Classic in 2021. The event was a $600 no limit tournament. Like most of us, Jeremy has worn many hats in the poker world. Currently, he is the tournament director and staffing director for the Mid States Poker Tour. Again, Jeremy, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you. So let's get started with some, easy questions like how'd you get started in poker, Jeremy?
Well, I've been in the poker industry for about 24 years or so. I actually myself in 2000 starting off dealing poker in the Chicagoland market. I worked the Chicagoland market for a long time, probably from about 2000 to 2012, 13 or so, and worked the whole market. And I started at it was actually the Harris Casino in 2000, dealt a few years there, and we opened a couple poker rooms in the Chicago market. One used to be at the Majestic Star. I was a manager there. And then we opened the Horseshoe Casino in Hammond, Indiana in 2008. And that was a real big poker market at the time. And I was one of the managers there. And that was probably one of the busiest poker rooms in the country when we first opened it in
And I
2008.
love that room, except there's no hotel connected to that casino.
Yeah, you know what? Their thought process behind it was 80 to 90% of the player, the players come from that Chicago market, so they wanted to get the casino open and see how it would do. And there's not too many hotels close by there either. So I mean, I'm not sure if you've played the circuit events or been to that casino. There, it's not. There's nothing close with hotels either. So, but those were some of the biggest circuit events in the country when we ran them, and still are to this day. So.
Well, and those are my old stomping. Those are the casinos I went to with my parents when I first turned 21.
Yeah.
So all those casinos you're naming is like where I started my gambling slots. My parents loved to play the slots. I didn't play poker until years later. So then when I went back to visit, I would go play poker. But so you're talking about all my stomping grounds for sure.
Oh yeah, that was some. I mean, the poker room was really busy during that time. I think we had 34 tables at the time, and we were full almost every night. During that 2008, I worked there till about 2012, 13, and then shortly after, I started working at the Heartland Poker Tour, and they needed someone just to help out with one event that they needed help with. I actually left Horseshoe Hammond. I went to Cleveland for about a year or so, and then helped out with the Heartland Poker Tour. I did one event with them, and then they wanted me to come on full time with them. And I worked with the Heartland Poker Tour for about 9 years until COVID, and we were actually of an event, and the event got shut down right at the
I
beginning of
remember
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. We were actually in Toledo at an event, and it actually got shut down right in the middle of the event. Everything was closing down, and they pretty much Heartland Poker Tour was owned by Penn Gaming at the time, which they actually still do own it. They own the rights and names to it, and they shut everything down during COVID. And we asked them, pretty high up in Penn Gaming, if they were going to bring it back, and they
Right.
said, nope, we don't have any thought process of bringing the Heartland Poker Tour back. So wasn't sure what I was going to do at the time, and it was actually Brian Molesky, who owns MSPT. He reached out to me and said, hey, we want to do more expanding of the Mid-States Poker Tour. And at the time, previously to that, MSPT, or Mid-States Poker Tour, was more of like, they help brand the event and help brand the events at different casinos. And we started to expand at that time to run more full series of events. And to this day now, we run, we kind of, a lot of the events we go to, we staff the events from registration to dealers to supervisors, and kind of make it turnkey for a lot of the properties that we go to. So, and I've been with MSPT now for about almost 4 years now. So
Well, and I love that. And I'm just going to say two things. Michael, who you see his picture down below, is one of our avid listeners. And right now he's sitting at a poker tournament in Tunica at a table. But he had sent me a question, but you've already answered it about the um, HPT and
mhm.
if that was ever going to come back. So I appreciate that. And Michael, I appreciate that question. But if one of my listeners is interested in becoming a dealer, a staff member with your tour, how do they contact you, or what's the process?
Yeah, they can shoot me an email. My email is jeremysmithpoker@yahoo.com. Or I actually have a Facebook page. It's MSPT Poker Tour Staff. And as we need dealers for upcoming events, I'll make posts in the Facebook group. So, some of the casinos we go to, they require experience ahead of time, at least 6 months to a year, casino experience or travel experience ahead of time.
Right.
But we do take on new dealers to start. A lot of the events we go to are very busy, so it's tough to train on the fly. But we do help train new dealers as well. Some of the events that we go to don't take dealers, but a lot of the events that we go to do need dealer help too. So yeah, anyone that's ever interested in working an event, they can always check out that Facebook group.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that
Yeah.
with us. And do you have any other job openings besides dealers right now that you'd like to tell us about?
Uh, Job openings. I have a core group of 3 to 5 supervisors that work a lot of our events. So we bring in supervisors as well, but it's mainly the same ones that travel with us. And then a lot of our dealers are the same as well. But I think we had 28 different events last year. So we stay pretty busy throughout the year.
Well, and that speaks volumes about what you're doing, that your staff keeps coming along with you. So kudos to you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That speaks volumes for sure. Now, I know you guys just finished up at the Maristar, East Chicago. Uh, Tell us about the next few stops that are on the tour.
Yeah, this actually next September 5th through the 8th. So this upcoming weekend, we're actually going to be at the Venetia Casino. They just opened their new poker room. I think it was a few weeks ago or a month ago.
Yep.
So
Yep.
they're going to be. It's actually on the Palazzo side. Brand new poker room there. I actually haven't seen it myself yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing their new poker room. We go to the Venetian Casino 3 to 5 times a year, so we're there a few times. Definitely hit up that the Vegas market. So with them opening their new poker room, that's going to be exciting as well.
Yeah, we were just talking about it a few minutes ago, that we're looking forward to seeing it, that none of us got to go yet, and we're looking forward to seeing it as well. I also know you guys are going to be in San Diego soon, and Battle Creek, Michigan, and Riverside, Iowa. So definitely check out the schedule on their website, which is Midstate. What is it? Midstates. It's msptpoker.com, right?
Yep, msptpoker.com. There's a whole list of upcoming events, and that Saquon Casino is just east of San Diego, and that's an awesome property if no one's ever been out there before. We actually have a huge ballroom set up with 30 tables, and we run everything in their tournament facility there. They have a poker room as well, but that event center and the whole casino, it's a resort style casino as well. So
I love that. Now, I love the fact that you guys do a Player of the Year
oh yeah.
contest, so to speak. So, can you explain to us how that works?
Yeah. So Player of the Year, it's actually season 15 of MSPT, and with Player of the Year, as players cash in any main event or regional event, so like an opening weekend or a $400 multi-day, they get points towards Player of the Year, and points towards Player of the Year get a prize pack at the end of the year. Now we've done. Buy-ins to main events in the past, but for this year, this is the first time we've done this for season 15. The winner of Player of the Year points for this year will get a $10,400 seat to the World Poker Tour at the Wynn Casino later this year. So we've partnered up with the World Poker Tour to run satellites for that Wynn event, and also our Player of the Year will get a $10,400 seat to that Wynn event this year.
Love it. What a
Yeah.
great way to earn your way into that event.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great offering. And I love the fact that you're doing Play of the Year and rewarding good play. I love that so much. Well, I am going to ask you to tell me about one more thing, and then I'm going to
Sure.
introduce you to some folks. Can you tell us about your super satellites and your satellites offered to players?
Yeah, so we run various different ways to to get into the main event. So our main events primarily around the country are an $1,110 buy-in, and we'll run satellites as cheap in many of the places as $70. So for $70 wins your way into our $265 satellites, and then the 265 satellites will win your way into the main event. So we've had players win the main event for a couple $100,000 that have won their seat through a $70 satellite. So it's a great opportunity where if someone doesn't have that much money to buy into the main event, they can get in for much cheaper.
Making poker affordable.
Oh yeah,
Nobody
for
can
sure.
argue that point, and we love it. Now I'm going to introduce you to some folks that are joining us here on the panel. My friend Donna Morton. Please meet Jeremy, and if you have some questions for him, go ahead.
Hi, Jeremy. Nice to meet you. How are you?
Hello. Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. What makes the MSPT tour different to all the other tours?
It's in our 15th season, making it different. Like I mentioned about the satellite, it gives a good opportunity for players to win their way in for cheaper. A lot of players, it's more. MSPT started in Minnesota, and it used to actually be just the Minnesota Poker Tour. Then it grew to, the Mid-States Poker Tour, and primarily we use the acronym just MSPT now because we're, primarily, nationwide now too. We go to San Diego, we go to Cleveland. I see Joe Shepis is on it as well. He's actually the tournament director in Cleveland. So it gives affordable poker tours to a lot of players that might not be able to travel around the country. We try to have a lot of stops in the Midwest and areas to where it's within a 3 to 4 hour drive of a major city to allow those players to play poker tournaments in their own backyard where they might not have had that opportunity to, if they're playing $100 tournament in their casino, they might be able to win a few $1,000s, which is great. But when we come into some of these casinos, into the poker rooms, those tournament prize pools are so much larger. So for $70, $265, to get your way into that $1,100 buy-in, it gives them a chance to win, a couple $100,000, which is life-changing money for a lot of players.
Yeah, I noticed that your main event structure is Alan Kessler approved. How did that? How did that come across?
So years back, he looked over the structure. I actually wasn't with MSPT at the time. I've been with MSPT for about 4 years now. So this was prior to my time. So I actually, as we all know, Alan likes to give his opinion on, many different things. So, and, his opinion is, um, accepted by, I don't want to say everyone, but many people. But it's good, when someone, whether it be Alan or anyone, gives their approval on a structure, there's really no levels missing. Every level's primarily in the structure. So it's a good play for the value of the buy-in. So
Also,
And
do you have a live stream?
So we used to have a live stream, essentially prior to COVID. No live stream now. What we've primarily noticed is with the live stream, it's a very, players like it. It's cool to have, but for the most part, it doesn't really help with turnout. We do very well with the turnouts that we have at many different places. It's also just to do the setup and stuff. Even if you've seen WPT will do theirs now too, where it's just in one location. So it's much more affordable. It's much more easy to set up. But we don't have live stream now, and really haven't had it since COVID. So we don't have live stream now.
And just for the record, Alan Kessler is a big Spaces fan. We love him here,
Okay.
but we do like to bust his chops too about the typical Alan stuff, right? So go ahead, Donna.
Well, he was
Yeah.
actually at our East Chicago event just this past weekend,
Yes, he
and
was.
he came out for the limit. We had a $400 limit Omaha 8 or better event, and he came out for that. And I respect Alan's comments, and we don't run a lot of limit Omaha 8 or better tournaments. Primarily we run no limit hold'em events or pot limit Omaha events. And with the limit Omaha 8 or better, I don't run a lot of those. I'm familiar with the tournament, but not like obviously he is, or someone that plays a lot of events. So he was very, let's just say, outspoken during the event on comments and stuff. But well received. I want suggestions. How can we improve this tournament? And then he played the main event with us as well. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Awesome. And he comes from the right place. Sometimes
sure.
the delivery's a little off, but we still love him, and it's
Oh,
okay.
it was actually funny. He came up to me on the poker room floor, and he made a comment about when you go from 300, 600, 400, 800, 500, 1000, and if you don't have that that level he thinks should be in there, he wants to let you know, right?
All right.
So he goes, he's like, levels are missing, the levels are missing. And he comes up to me right on the floor in front of like 10 people that were standing there. And he was like very upset that a level was missing. And then he runs back to his table, and the player looked at me and he goes, I can now check that off my bucket list because I know he witnessed Alan Kessler complaining about something in person. It was pretty funny. So, and I'm sure he was a fan of Alan Kessler. So,
Of
but
course.
he was excited to witness that firsthand.
That's hilarious. Donna, do you have any more questions before I move on?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What can you expect at an MSPT event? Do you have such as mixed games, or is it just no limit?
So, a lot of our events might start. The Venetian, for example, coming up is we tag one of their events. The MSPT is their main event of that series, but most places we go to. So, for example, at the Zaquan Casino in San Diego, that's a full series. So it's a 2-weekend event. We'll have anything from Pot Limit Omaha. We have it's a mixed game, no limit hold'em with Pot Limit Omaha. As we just had in East Chicago, we have limit Omaha 8 or better tournaments. So we try to mix in, to have a variety, in the whole series. When we go to Cleveland, they actually have a $1,000 pot limit Omaha event on the last day. So depending on where we go, it's kind of market driven. But we try to mix in other things besides no limit hold'em. But the main event, which is the 11-10 buy-in, is always no limit hold'em. So we try to offer a variety of different things for players to travel in to play besides No Limit.
Okay, staying in that spirit of conversation, some know I'm a founding club member of the Women's Poker Association, as well as a WPA advocate. Have you guys ever hosted a ladies' event? Do you guys? If not, are there plans for any?
Yeah, we actually not this time, but we try to about every other time in when we go to the Sequan Casino in San Diego. I team up with Lena Evans, and she helps us market. And we've had ladies events there before too. Um, it's tough to find certain days that work. We always try to put it on a day that works well, but we haven't done too many because if we do a main event with a couple other side events, it's hard to squeeze in additional events. But in markets where we have the space, we've definitely tried ladies events before, and everyone, they'll do decent, but it's nice to have variety in there too.
Absolutely, and I'm gonna take up defense for you because anybody that follows ladies events or knows anything about it knows that unless you're in an area with a lot of female poker players, or you have a big enough tour to make, or not tour but event series to make it worth their while to come, then you're not going to fill those seats. So
Right.
believe me, we understand it. And that's no shade to you guys at all, because you got to, host the events that are going to be filling seats for you in a short amount of time. So we get it. Believe me,
Sure.
we get it. Okay, Donna, go ahead.
No, that's it. I just want to say thank you very much, Jeremy, for answering my questions. And I found that gem about Alan Kessler, and I thought I just had to bring it up because we love Alan and we love busting his balls. Bless him.
That we do. Okay, let me introduce you to Asimov, or AKA Isaac. Please meet Jeremy and ask him any questions you may have.
Hey, Jeremy. Pleasure to meet,
Hello.
man. Just heard you talking about the series in San Diego. Is that still going on, or when does that
Yeah, that's
happen?
actually it'll be September 12th through the 22nd. If you check out msptpoker.com, the whole schedule of events is there. Under the Sequan Casino, you just click on event schedule, and it'll bring up the whole series of events. So that starts next Thursday, September 12th. And the opening weekend is a $360 mystery bounty. And then there's satellites to get into that as well. And there's a whole list of events where there's 3 or 4 tournaments each day too. And we've actually added the WPT satellites for that one there too. So that'll be just next September 12th through the 22nd for that event.
Awesome. I'm in LA. Gonna check it
Yeah,
out. Very
have you
dope.
ever been to that casino before?
No, I haven't
Yeah,
actually.
it's a full resort style um, property there too. So if you don't have a hotel book, you can always check out the website msptpoker.com and click under. There's hotel discounts for players as well.
Oh, that's super
Yep, just
cool.
click on
Okay,
more
great,
info
great.
and it shows the hotel information.
And let me tell you, all the
Awesome,
pictures
awesome.
I see from that venue look amazing as a resort,
Oh
Isaac.
yeah, it's nice.
Okay, I'm gonna check them out. I'm gonna check them out. I had another question too. You said you had done the horseshoe in Illinois. Is that horseshoe connected to the Caesars horseshoe in Vegas, or is that a totally separate like entity?
So it's still owned. So it's Horseshoe Casino in Hammond, Indiana. So it's just over the border, just east of Chicago, and that still is Caesar's property. They still, they own the name to Horseshoe, and they have multiple different Horseshoe casinos. So I guess it would be essentially a sister property for them.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was trying to visit there about a month ago when I was out in
Mm-hmm.
Chicago, and it caught my curiosity because I was like, horseshoe, because I have the Caesars rewards app, and when I was looking, I couldn't find anything there. But Sherry actually answered that. She said that there's no hotel or anything connected to it, so that makes total sense now. Very dope. I'm gonna definitely try to give them a visit next time I'm in the
Yeah,
area.
sounds good.
And it's right down the street from my favorite pizza place, Isaac.
Yes, indeed.
Not too far from my favorite pizza. Another reason why you should go to Horseshoe in Hammond. Oh, Isaac, did you have any other questions, love? Okay,
No.
perfect.
That's everything. The California event is very intriguing, though. Definitely going to be checking that out. Appreciate you for
Yeah,
that,
for
Jeremy.
sure.
Perfect. Now, Rick O'Connell, are you there, bud?
I am alive still.
Awesome. Please meet Jeremy if you don't know him already. And if you have any questions, go right ahead.
Hi, Jeremy. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, how are you?
Let me tell you something. I'm a native Chicagoan as well, and I'm very familiar with all the casinos that Sherry used to gamble at. And you wouldn't believe some of the bar tabs she used to have.
Hey, no telling secrets. No personal secrets here.
I had to get that in. But anyway, I'm so happy about this tour because I've been retired for 6 years now, but I when we had the Seminole Casino Hotel in Immokalee, part of the Seminole Tribes group, we hosted a WPT Deep Stacks every year.
Hmm.
The locals just absolutely loved it because it was in tune to a more recreational style of tournament. And Mr. Kessler used to come every year and used to like to beat up our video poker machines. And my boss kept asking me, "Is he playing advantage? Is he?" I said, "Yes." But it is what it is. And we had a lot of interesting comments from him. All the guys that we use for our Deep Stacks tournaments were from the WSOP guys and from the Hard Rock guys that came down and helped me run the tournaments because our poker room was only 6 tables, but we had 30, 40 table tournaments. But so those were great tournaments, and what you're doing is just terrific for the casual or the recreational player to get involved in what is, I think, a very, very nice tournament series. And congratulations on that, Jeremy. So keep up the good work there.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
What Rick is failing to tell you is that he's been a big industry guy for centuries, and I can say that after he brought up my lack of drinking habits. But anyway, um, I just want to ask you, Jeremy. A few months ago, I had the opportunity to play the Savage Average
Hmm.
tournament for the first time, and I'm going to tell you, I really liked it. Have you guys thought about hosting a Savage Average tournament at one of your tour sites?
So I actually played it myself as well. So I was out in Vegas for the TDA summit, and
Oh, I
then
missed it that night. I hate I missed it.
yeah, so we played it that night. So that was the first time I had played one as well, and I, definitely enjoyed it. I think it's one of those things where he's tested a few times, and I've read all comments about it, and it seems like everything seems to be pretty positive, and I enjoyed it myself too. Um, we haven't really implemented it, anything like that in any of
Right.
our series yet. Will we in the future? I'm definitely open to new suggestions, new tournaments. So it's definitely something to think about moving forward.
Yeah, I really did enjoy it, and I really hope that that tournament style gets included a little more often around the globe, so to speak, because it was a lot of fun. Like it's different, and it I don't know, you can just enjoy poker without thinking about the clock and what do I need to do because the blinds are about to go up, and I don't know. It just was nice. I really enjoyed it.
No, for sure. I liked it as well.
Okay, for my audience members, if you'd like to come up and speak with Jeremy, click in the request button in the bottom left corner. You guys know the drill. I'm going to do a little rapid fire with you, Jeremy. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm going to give you two choices. And of course, please choose one, or you can pass if you have to. Do you prefer limit or no limit?
Me personally, I prefer playing limit hold'em, but it's actually hard to find nowadays because, I mean, I've been playing poker since late '90s, early 2000. Growing, you kind of grow up on limit. I prefer playing limit cash games, but no limit for tournaments. So
Gotcha. Well, let me just give you a little suggestion. Go to Washington State and you'll find all the limit poker you could ever want.
yeah,
Uh, all right. The Colts or the Bears?
I'm a Bears fan. My wife's
Yeah.
actually a Colts fan, so when the Bears play the Colts, it's definitely a rival on TV.
Oh
No,
my
well,
God! I went to that Super Bowl, Jeremy.
That was one of the best starts to the Super Bowl when Hester ran that kickoff back.
He ran it right back to my son and I in the rain. And I'll
Oh
never.
yeah, that was one of the best starts, but it
Yep.
didn't end well for the Bears.
No, they won the first quarter and then they lost the last 3 quarters. So
Yep, yep, for
Hester
sure.
the molester took it down in the very first
yeah,
part of the game, and then forget about it.
forget about it. Well, they intercepted Manning in the first set of downs.
Oh,
They're up like 13-0, and then it just all went to where. But
well, I got to give my Tennessee graduates, kudos. We love some Tennessee football in my house, so
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cook or do the dishes?
I do all the cooking in my house. So my wife
Okay.
actually does the dishes, and my boys actually, I have an 18 and a 20-year-old. They do a lot of the dishes, but when I'm home and I'm not traveling, I actually do all the cooking. I actually used to own a restaurant a long time ago too, and during COVID, I worked at a restaurant. I have friends that own restaurants. I worked at a restaurant during COVID, and so I do all the cooking. My wife actually does the dishes.
I love it. Texting or a phone call?
Texting for sure.
Beach or mountains?
It's kind of a mix. You know, I enjoy going to the beach, but we actually have an event up in Black Hawk, Colorado. If you guys have never been up
Oh,
there, those mountains, that scenery up in Black Hawk, Colorado, is just west of Denver, and that scenery is
it's majestic.
yeah,
That's
it's
how I
awesome up there.
describe it. Yeah, that whole area is just majestic mountains. Love it. Ford or Chevy?
I'm a Chevy guy. I mean, we have Toyotas and stuff, but I definitely prefer Chevy over Ford.
Sour Patch Kids or Swedish Fish?
Swedish Fish.
The Godfather or Star Wars?
Uh, I mean, like both, but probably Star Wars.
Thank you for playing my ridiculous rapid fire game.
You're welcome.
Hey, Jeff, I got to tell you one story, though, okay?
Okay.
I don't know if I told Sherry this or not, but my mom lived to be 97 years old.
Wow.
And you know that Virginia McCaskey is 101 now, and she goes to all of the Bears games. George Halas's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Virginia McCaskey was my mom's maid of honor.
Oh, wow.
But
Oh,
the funny thing about it is because she grew up in the North Side. She married my dad from the West Side. He was a Chicago Cardinal football fan.
oh, wow.
Long
So
time ago.
I bet you it was a very interesting reception. But anyway, so that's our history. And my two sons, they always cringe when I tell that story. But I have a beautiful Art Deco picture of mom and dad and all their bridesmaids, and there's Virginia McCaskey standing right next to her as her maid of honor. So they went to school together. Yeah.
That's a great story. Did you ever get to meet the rest of the McCaskies?
Yeah, I did. I got to meet the whole family, so
Nice. Okay.
it was really cool. And my son, I'll tell you a funny thing about my oldest son. He used to tell me growing up. He said, "Dad, how could you have me grow up as a Cub and a Bear fan? They always lose." So we've been to the World Series together, and we've been to the Super Bowl together. So.
Yeah, Cubs World Series
Aw.
was awesome. I'm a pretty big Cubs fan. We were in Cleveland a few weeks ago, and the Cubs. It just happened to work out good. The Cubs were playing the Guardians in Cleveland, so we were able to go to the game the one night.
Oh,
I may be jealous of that.
that's
Yeah.
great. Well, I'm going to go see the Bears play in October, the first weekend in October. So we're going to Chicago to see them play, and because my son is a huge Bear fan.
Yeah,
So,
you wait too late in the year, the games get pretty cold.
yeah, it does. And the greatest thing about my life has been going to the Super Bowl with my son, going to the World Series, the Cubs, and going to see the Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup together. Because they played Tampa, and so he flew in from Phoenix to Tampa, and then watching him playing the main event of the World Series. So I've all the bucket list stuff is gone right now. So that's some good stuff.
That's
You have to
amazing.
remake your bucket list.
I know. Start a new list, dude. You got lots of time left here.
My new list will include beating Sherry heads up in a tournament. That'll be it.
Oh, hell no. He did not just make that challenge. You are on, my friend. You are
Do it.
on like Donkey Kong.
Do it.
Well, I wanted to give a couple announcements for those that weren't here earlier, because I see Barry's in here now. And I want to let you know, Barry, that I heard from John Sanudo a couple of days ago, and he had the surgery in LA on the 17th of August, and he's home and he's getting stronger every day. So, sending some prayers out to Miami John after that surgery. And again, on Friday, 7:30 Eastern Time, Andrew Lichenberg, sorry, aka Lucky Chewy, is going to join me and be my guest. That's 7:30 Eastern here in the Spaces. So make sure you join us for that space on Friday. So, anybody else have any? I'm going to go around the horn. Anybody else have any comments or questions? Uh, you're welcome, Barry. I see you, buddy. Go ahead, Isaac.
Yeah, actually, do you have any MSPT events that come to either Commerce or any of the LA casinos, Jeremy?
So as of right now, no, but keep an eye out on the website for possibility of an LA casino here in the next few months.
Sounds awesome. Hell yeah, definitely will
Yeah, for
do.
sure. We'll check out on Twitter and Facebook. It's MSPT Poker is the Twitter and Facebook. So as soon as all new events, we'll post stuff there. We have a couple new events coming up as well in December, the first and second weekend. One of them is probably going to be in a new market for us too in the Midwest. So we'll get that posted on the website here probably within the next week or two.
I'll tell you one thing,
Great.
being familiar with
Cool.
Sequan, that's a great venue for you. Absolutely great. And it's a beautiful, beautiful property. So good for you guys to do Sequan. If you can get there, man, it's wonderful.
Yeah, Saquon's a nice property. It's just San Diego market. It just seems like over the even when they used to in the San Diego market for circuit events, they get good turnouts there. But we want to do anything to help promote those events too because it's such a great property, good venue, good space. The tournaments are great, all the players, and we just want to help build that market as well.
Okay, you guys, I'm going to give a little review. MSPT tour is going to be at the Venetian in Las Vegas, September 5th through the 8th, which it's coming up here in a couple of days. Then they go to Sequan Casino Resort just outside of San Diego, September 12th through the 22nd. Then they're going to be up at Firekeeper Casino in Battle Creek, Michigan, October 10th through the 13th, and then Riverside Casino in Riverside, Iowa, October 29th through the 3rd of November. So definitely go out and see Jeremy and his great crew. And Jeremy, I appreciate you visiting with us this afternoon and answering our questions.
Yeah, I appreciate the time. That Firekeepers Casino, if you guys haven't been out there, that's a great one as well. That's actually one of the largest 1K buy-in tournaments outside of Vegas. We get almost 3,000 people for that tournament. So I think it's like 2.5 million prize pool last time, and that's a big one. That's a nice one.
It is a nice one, and I wanted to go last year and I couldn't because I was dealing with some health issues. And this year I can't because I'm got some other trips planned. But one of these days,
Yeah.
for
Do
sure.
do you know? So Angela Jordison, she actually won our event yesterday at the Maristar in East Chicago. So it's nice to see a female winner. If you don't know Angela, she that was for 161,000. She won yesterday. So
Well, we were talking about that earlier. I brought it up because
okay,
Angela likes to hang out with us in the spaces from time to time too. So,
yeah,
no, we were very excited for her, and she's just such a great lady and a crusher at the table, and for her to take down that main event at
it was a
that
Maristar.
venue, yeah, the
Yeah,
Maristar was awesome.
yeah, she played great. She couple big hands, and it took a long time to lose a player at the final table. But once she won a big pot, she steamrolled that table and took it down. So she did a great job.
That's awesome. What a crusher. Oh, I can't wait to talk to her about it for sure. Hopefully, she'll join us in a space in the near future and give us the whole lowdown because it's always fun to hear it from their point of view. Like, what were you thinking? And, because it's always different than the public perception, right?
Sure.
So, Jeremy, I'm going to let you off the hook. I again appreciate you joining us today and hope you can do it again in the future so we can hear more about what you're doing with your tour. And don't forget, folks, if you want the updates, it's msptpoker.com to get their schedule, what's going on, who the player of the year point leader is, and all that fun stuff. So thank you, Jeremy.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. And to my listeners and my fellow co-hosts, I appreciate all of you. Love you all. Thank you. And everybody have a great afternoon and evening. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Sherry.